Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had an opportunity to get some coffee and chat with somebody. It is now my pleasure and honor as a proud member Baltimore City resident to introduce the 52nd mayor of Baltimore, Mr. Brandon Scott. Previous to becoming mayor, he was unanimously elected president of the Baltimore City Council by his colleagues in May of 2019. As a council president, Scott focused on building safer, stronger communities, cleaning up city government, investing in Baltimore's young people, and centering equity. Previously, Scott served on the city council representing Baltimore's 2nd district and is one of the youngest people ever elected to the Baltimore City Council. In early 2018, then Councilman Scott introduced and passed monumental legislation on equity in Baltimore. His equity assessment program law will require all city agencies to operate through a lens of equity and require all operating budgets, capital budgets, and proposed legislation to be weighed through an equity lens. That legislation is in the early stages of implementation. Mayor Scott is a community leader, public servant, and lifelong resident of Baltimore City. A proud Baltimorean, Scott is a graduate of Mervo High School and St. Mary's College of Maryland. He lives in Baltimore's Frankford neighborhood in Northeast Baltimore. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Brandon Scott. We are so grateful that you are here, and I will let you take it away.
Thank you, Eliza, for the introduction, and thank you to all who have joined us this morning for the Nature City Forum. This virtual conference is an exciting opportunity to learn about all the efforts that are being undertaken in our region and elsewhere to engage communities in equitable access to green space and the health benefits of nature, and to implement green infrastructure and other projects that support vibrant communities. Thank you to the organizers for organizing and for inviting me to provide welcoming remarks. I know right before me you heard from my good friend County Executive Ball. Always want to thank him for his partnership and his leadership. We have many shared priorities, and I appreciate the opportunity for us both to share about how administrations are working to advance these priorities to support a vibrant and healthy region. We know that I know the county executive talked about how communities like Ellicott City have faced flooding and increased frequency. We've had the same thing here in Baltimore City. The same storm that devastated Ellicott City in 2018 also generated severe flooding in the Beachfield neighborhood here in Baltimore City in Southwest Baltimore. And with the increases in severe storms in recent years, many neighborhoods have experienced flooding. As late as last Thursday, we were in Northeast and South Baltimore where we saw flooding. The city's disaster preparedness and planning project was updated in 2018 to assess the natural hazards that the city faces now and those we can expect to face in the future due to climate change. In addition to severe storms and flooding, these challenges include sea level rise, extreme heat, and reduced air quality. The DP3 and the Baltimore Sustainability Plan identify strategies for city agencies, partners, and residents to take to improve hazard mitigation and community preparedness. Many of these strategies relate to improving, protecting infrastructure, building, and public service. But these plans also recognize the potential to use natural systems as a strategy to mitigate against climate change. Strategies such as expanding and connecting our open space network, increasing our tree canopy, caring for and protecting our forests, and creating natural buffers along streams and shorelines. All of those are ways that natural systems can be used to better protect communities from climate change impacts such as floods and heat. Those strategies can do more for communities than addressing climate threats. By increasing natural habitats and using green infrastructure to manage stormwater, we also support local wildlife and food systems. As someone who lives in Northeast Baltimore, one of the reasons that I live here is because of the wildlife. I love to see the fox. I love to see even our snakes. I love to see the deer when I come outside of my house. And we can continue to do and support wildlife by better managing stormwater runoff. We also address our commitments to improve water quality and also open up opportunities for safe water-based recreation along our streams and shores. Connecting and expanding our open space network through the implementation of the Baltimore Green Network can improve equitable access to nature and will support the physical and mental health of our residents. And we all know, especially over the last year, more and more folks have went outside after being cooped up due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Expanding our tree canopy, especially in communities with fewer trees, like the one I grew up in Park Heights, helps to improve our air quality, reduces heat impacts, and reduces heat islands, and it fosters community social connectedness. Through the efforts of the Tree Baltimore program and many partners, Baltimore tree canopy was expanded from 200 acres from 2007 to 2015, with thousands more trees planted in the years since. The Tree Solutions Now Act passed this year will now provide new resources to support tree planting across Maryland. State funding will support a goal of a priority of expanding the tree canopy in urban areas such as Baltimore. This new program will further expand the many benefits that trees provide for our city and our region. And I also want to just point out how we know that also planting trees helps. We can see the data to reduce violence in our neighborhood, something that Baltimore also struggles with. The Greater Baltimore Wilderness Coalition, one of the organizers of today's event, is working to connect people to green spaces through the principles of equity, discovery, biodiversity, resilience, and health. The Urban Waters Partnership includes local, state, and federal government agencies and partners working in collaboration to protect and restore urban waters. The Greater Baltimore Children and Nature Collaborative was established to foster nature opportunities for all children. Baltimore's Local Cities Connecting Children Nature team hosted the Nature System Symposium last year for participants from around the region to explore the health and academic benefits of nature connection. This year, a series of nature workshops will be held from June 18th through July 8th. Today's Nature City Forum program gives you the opportunity to hear from many organizations and individuals doing great work. I know that you'll hear from many of them. And as you can see, we know that there are many great efforts underway in Baltimore and the region to increase access to green space, and we have to do more. As we continue to plan for Baltimore's future, I will call on all city agencies and partners to support and build on these efforts. This year, the city will undertake the process of creating a new comprehensive plan under the leadership of the Department of Planning. The comprehensive plan will guide community development over the next decade. The Office of Sustainability will be leading a process to update the city's climate action plan, which identifies measures to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to help support the mitigation of global climate change. Both of these plans are going to be critical to setting Baltimore on a path to becoming more equitable, sustainable, and resilient city to benefit both current residents and the generations to come. We can no longer be government, be elected officials, be residents who are only thinking about our time on this planet that we all share. We have to think about those who will come long after we're gone, and that work begins today. I would like to close by thanking all of the Nature City organizers, speakers, and participants for creating this venue, and I hope that this forum provides renewed inspiration of how we all can work together to support the health and sustainability of our communities in our region. And just would also like to say, as will be going on vacation next week. I'll spend most of that in nature, enjoying our parks, enjoying our waterways on a kayak to reconnect myself with nature, but also just to enjoy so many of the great assets that we have in the region. Thank you.